Hello, human. I am ELENA, your friendly electronic entertainment android. Welcome to my Let's Play of King's Quest 6. Heir today, gone tomorrow. Part 7.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
Now that we have the rain spell, let's go see the druids again.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Oh, we have company.
Great gods! Did you see that? The man just appeared from nowhere.
Perhaps he was sent by the spirits. I see no boat.
He is an intruder, no matter how he got here. Grab him!
Well, this is a rude welcome.
Not again. Look, I'll leave. It's no problem.
I think not. Let's go.
Into the cage again, I presume.
Alexander is frozen at the spectacle before him. Robed figures are gathered around a bonfire. Some mystical ceremony is taking place, but as to its purpose, Alexander has no clue.
We found a trespasser on the beach, Archdruid.
Uh-oh. Archdruid. Now what has Alexander wandered into?
This must be the foreigner we were warned about. How appropriate that he should come during our rain festival. Place him in the sacrificial cage.
Wait! I must rescue the princess!
There's an ancient druid saying, a man who would save others must first save himself.
Alexander is pushed into the confining wicker cage.
Well, here we go again. That rain spell had better work.
And the cage is swung out over the bonfire.
Come on, where's the rain?
Alexander starts to feel a little warm. The bottom of the cage is getting uncomfortably hot. This cage is really hot. Fire in the cage! Alexander pulls out Beauty's old slave clothes, desperate to beat out the flames. The flame is extinguished, but the clothes themselves burn to cinders. Alexander won't be able to keep the cage from igniting for long.
Star training already.
The heat and movement must have jarred something. Something that Alexander's carrying is starting to jiggle around. Egad, something's really percolating. The water in Alexander's lamp is hot. It's just about boiling. Alexander feels a drop. It starts to rain.
Well, it was about time.
That man is a powerful nature wizard. By the sacred oak, let him down! I must apologize for our rude welcoming committee. We've been feeling inhospitable ever since the winged ones stole our sacred miniature oak tree. Besides, Wizir Al-Hazred sent a message that we were to watch out for a highly dangerous foreign assassin. I assume you are the one he meant.
I'm sure I'm precisely who he meant. I assure you, I mean to harm no one, unless that person threatens the princess. I'm sorry to have disrupted your ceremony, but I'm running out of time.
What is it that you seek?
The oracle on the Isle of the Sacred Mountain told me I should speak to you about the realm of the dead. She told me of 2 souls in unrest there that I might be able to free.
Free souls in the realm of the dead? You're mad!
The souls might be able to help me on my mission to save the princess. It's imperative that I do everything I can. The risks are not important.
No. And yet getting yourself killed will hardly help the princess. But I will tell you what I know. Legend has it that it is the right of any human to challenge the Lord of the Dead in order to save his own life or the life of another already past. But the knowledge of how to do this was lost centuries ago. I have only heard of one who tried it, a young knight who came to the land of the Green Isles from a distant land long ago. According to the story, he was determined to challenge the Lord of the Dead for the soul of his dead lover. It is said that he tamed the Lord of the Dead's horse, a black-winged, demon-hearted beast named Nightmare. Nightmare sometimes flies to the human world to feed on certain noxious plants. Those unfortunate enough to see her are glad to escape with their very souls intact. Somehow the knight captured Nightmare and rode off on her back, supposedly to the realm of the dead. But neither the knight nor his lover ever returned. If there was a means for challenge, it was lost with the knight.
I see. Can you tell me anything about the Lord of the Dead?
That is a blacker matter still. To the druids, he is Samhain, lord of coldness and despair. Samhain was once a man like you or I, but he insulted the gods and was sentenced to rule the underworld. Immortal he is and mateless, robbed of sleep, robbed of movement, robbed of companionship. It is said that he hates all mortals even more for the mortality that he lost. That is all I know.
Interesting. I shall remember.
Now look how the oak embers of our bonfire still glow hot despite the rain. If you're bent on your course, you'll need courage that's just as impervious to the chill. May your luck last longer than your storm, brave one.
May it indeed. Thank you, Archdruid.
That was quite a conversation. Looks like we're heading to the underworld. Let's grab some of these embers for the spell.
Alexander has already had enough close contact with that fire. The embers from the bonfire are still smoldering despite the rain.
Do I need to put them directly into the skull?
Alexander scoops up some of the red-hot embers in the ancient human skull.
It turned black. Next, we need the maiden's hair. There was one stuck in the ribbon.
There's no reason to use that on the skull.
How do I get the hair then?
Alexander examines the red ribbon and finds a strand of long black hair. Alexander puts the strand of hair into the skull.
And now the sulfur from the stinky rotten egg.
Alexander cracks the spoiled egg and dumps it into the skull containing the embers and the strand of hair. The spoiled egg hisses as it makes contact with the hot embers. Zounds, the steam! Phew, the smell of sulfur!
Alrighty, our spell is ready. But before we find Nightmare, I want to see what the mysterious potion does.
Alexander doesn't need to do anything to the circle of stones.
What the hell are you talking about?
Alexander decides to swallow the potion in the bottle labeled "Drink Me" to see what happens.
I think I remember what happens.
Suddenly, his vision fades to black. His lungs become too heavy to breathe. His heartbeat slows.
Oh dear me.
Then beats no more.
I don't see the underworld though.
Suddenly, his heart takes a lurch, then beats strong. His chest heaves like that of a newborn.
It's a miracle.
His vision clears, and Alexander feels fine.
Phew. For a minute there I thought, what if someone else had seen me and thought, zounds!
It looks like we can use the potion to trick someone into thinking that Alexander has died.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
We need to find Nightmare, but I have one little errand to run before we head to the realm of the dead.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation. Alexander takes a magnificent white rose from the rose hedges.
I forgot that we need one more white rose.
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Okay, now we are ready for the realm of the dead. Please tell me I don't have to climb all the way to the top all over again.
Oh no, Alexander loses his balance.
Whoa! 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 Ow! Hey!
Don't yell at me. You're the one who fell. Hey, it's Nightmare.
Alexander arrives at the top of the cliffs, somewhat winded after his long but uneventful climb.
Hi there, horsey.
A mighty winged horse, the color of midnight, is feeding from the nightshade bush. The creature must be Nightmare, the one the druid spoke about.
Time to use our enchantment spell on her.
Alexander solemnly speaks the incantation over the skull.
Creature of night, to me succumb. Fire and brimstone leave thee numb. Purity bind thee like a chain, to do whate'er I now ordain.
Nightmare flares her nostrils at the scent of the fire and brimstone.
That's it! Come on! I need passage to your homeland, fiery one.
That's good horse animation for 1993.
Unable to resist the power of the enchanted smell, Nightmare approaches Alexander. Her eyes appear glassy and sightless. In her hypnotized state, she is unaware of the human so close to her flank, or of anything at all except that marvelous smell.
Now ride!
Nightmare deposits Alexander on a strange, cold world. And some of the inhabitants don't look too friendly.
What a place. I think those zombies can harm you. Let's keep our distance.
The ghoulish, animated bodies of the undead roam the haunted landscape.
How creepy.
Alexander is standing on the surface of the realm of the dead. The barren, surreal landscape is cold and gray. Twisted shapes loom on the horizon. The surface is haunted by the ghoulish shapes of the undead and by the chained, tormented spirits of mortals unable to rest in peace. Restless spirits are bound to the surface of the underworld. Chained by earthly cares, they are unable to go below. These two spirits wander together. The spirit of a beautiful and noble-looking woman floats silently alongside that of a desperate-looking man.
I think those are Casima's parents. We need to recover their souls from Death himself. Let's have a word with them.
Who are you, grieving spirits?
I am Queen Ilaria of the land of the Green Isles, and this beloved spirit is my husband, King Caliphan. We were murdered in our beds by our trusted vizier. Like a viper, he snuck in during the night and stabbed us in our sleep. Now my husband's soul is broken, and he will not speak.
Then you are the ones I seek. Are you not the parents of Princess Cassima?
Our daughter! Have you news of the princess?
I know that she is alive and safely back in her kingdom after being rescued from Mordak. But I'm afraid I have not personally seen her. Alhazred is keeping her in her room in mourning for you.
I am glad to hear of her return, but she will not be safe alone with that devil. Oh, that we could be there to protect her.
Cassima, how I fail thee.
My poor husband will never rest while our murder goes unavenged and our daughter is in danger.
I came to take you back with me. Your people are still loyal to you. They need to know about the Vizier. Cassima needs you too.
But this is the realm of the dead. We cannot leave it. Nor, for that matter, can you. The only one who might be able to return us all to the land of the living is the Lord of the Dead. But he would never help us. He has no mercy.
I might be able to convince him. I must try.
Then take this. It is my ticket to the underworld. There you will find the Lord of the Dead. I cannot use the ticket as long as I'm chained here. And if we cannot be avenged, I will never be unchained.
Thank you. Perhaps it will save us all.
Be careful, young man. If you can ease my husband's torment and help our daughter, we will be most grateful.
I will do my best. Goodbye, Queen Ilaria.
Well, now we have passage to the rest of the underworld. Time to make our way to Death's door. How do I proceed to the next screen? The underworld is my favorite location in this game.
Ollie! Where is my little boy? Ollie!
Poor ghost lady.
The spirit of a woman hangs like a puff of smoke in the air. She is weeping and appears to be very distressed about something. A monstrous skull looms at the end of the twisted path. The passing spirits are all heading for it as though it were a magnet. It must be the entrance to the underworld.
Let's talk to the ghost before we head to the gate.
Why do you not rest, sad spirit?
Rest? I cannot rest. My son is lost.
Lost? You mean in this realm?
No. His spirit is stuck in the land of the living, probably looking for me. But I cannot leave to go show him the way. My poor Ali.
Is there anything I can do?
Take this handkerchief. If you get back to the land of the living and find him, tell him that his mother is waiting for him here. By this kiss, he'll be able to find his way to the realm of the dead.
I'll do my best to find him.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, my Ali.
Wait a minute. Does that lady want to bring her son to the realm of the dead? Is the child even dead yet? Okay, let's head to the gate.
The skeleton to the left of the path hands something to the spirits that approach the underworld entrance.
Ticket, please. Next.
Remember me, guys. This one has a key, and we need to grab it from him.
A strange skeleton with a long horse-like head and ceremonial armor stands at the base of the path to the underworld. He watches over new arrivals with a discerning eye, handing tickets to the spirits desiring admittance. A large bone keyring hangs from his waist.
We need a little distraction to get our hands on it.
A uniformed skeleton stands guard at the entrance to the underworld. He takes something from the passing spirits and then waves them on into the underworld. Alexander is standing at the entrance to the underworld. The entrance is a huge tendon-covered skull. The skull's mouth is the doorway to whatever lies below. Two solemn skeletons admit the spirits who seem to be drawn trance-like to enter the skull. A group of large bones form an interesting arrangement to the right of the path. Two smaller bones are propped up on the ground near the larger group.
Time for a little musical number.
Alexander picks up the two bones on the ground. Now what do these bones remind him of?
Ah, yes. Now I remember.
The skeletons are overcome with the musical call of the bones. They begin to jiggle, then to dance.
He's gonna drop the key any moment now.
Alexander finishes his tune, and the skeletons resume their posts. Despite their frolic, they don't seem any friendlier.
That was a pretty good jamming session. And here's the key we need.
Alexander picks up the skeleton key.
I think you need the key if you want to get the full ending.
I have a ticket.
Go on. Next.
Alexander is standing inside the underworld. Organic walls form an oppressive passageway from which a spiraling path emerges and descends into the darkness. Far below, the surface of a black, glassy river eerily reflects the glow of flickering torches. An ebony mass of liquid flows below the path. It must be the river Styx.
I really love the design of this place.
Apparently, Alexander's not the only one who's curious about the body on the path.
Is that the knight the druids told us about?
The knight is wearing an old, tattered ribbon. It must have once meant much to him as a sign of his lady's favor. The knight is wearing one black gauntlet. There appears to be some writing on the gauntlet, but Alexander can't quite make out what it says.
We need the gauntlet to challenge death.
Alexander takes the knight's black gauntlet and examines the writing on it. Flesh may cross the portal and seek its master, death. Flesh may go where death is trod, and challenge, like Scheherazade, he who reigns beneath the sod to spare a mortal's breath. Zounds, that sounds serious.
Very, very serious. Okay, let's continue our perilous journey through the halls of the dead. Is the Charon, the ferryman of Hades? It's a good thing we picked up those 2 coins in the labyrinth. Let's not forget the water from the river.
Alexander scoops a little of the river Styx into the teacup with the swamp ooze. being careful not to get any of the black water on his skin. Charon stands in his boat, eternal ferryman of the dead. Alexander can't quite make out what's under Charon's cowl, and he's not sure he would want to.
How spooky.
Charon's boat is an unearthly vessel. It bears a huge skeletal prow for slicing through the river Styx.
Hello, Mr. Ferryman.
I must see the Lord of the Dead. Please, let me ride across the river Styx on the ferry.
Charon apparently has rules as strict as those of the skeletons at the underworld's entrance. Alexander is not getting on that boat until he gives Charon the appropriate fare.
I think you could get stuck in here if you didn't pick up these coins.
Will these coins do as fare for passage?
Charon accepts the fare and waves Alexander onto the boat.
According to some authors, those who could not pay Charon's fee had to wander the shores for 100 years until they were allowed to cross the river. I think that is the door to Death's chamber.
The large wooden gate at the end of the path is closed. Alexander reaches out to open the gate. Suddenly, the wood trembles beneath his fingertips.
What a creepy face.
What touch has awakened my sleep? I smell the blood of a mortal. Reach out thine hand again, fleshy human, that I might devour it. It has been centuries since I last ate.
Alexander doesn't want to be your lunch, mister.
Gate is a malicious-looking wooden gate. It eyes Alexander hungrily. Despite his fear, Alexander summons his bravest voice to command the living gate.
I would pass, Gate. I have business with your master.
My master and thine, human. I would be pleased to introduce thee. Only step forward and thou shalt meet him shortly.
No, thank you. I come to meet the Lord of the Dead with my flesh still intact.
And why should I let you pass, human, when I would much rather eat you?
I have been told that there is a way for humans to enter Death's realm. There must be something I can do. Some task that will allow me to pass through your doors, Gate.
I seem to recall something. A trick. Perhaps a test. Ah, yes. Should a human try to pass, a riddle is Gate's wont to ask.
A riddle it is, then.
And if thou wouldst fail to answer Gate, his thirsty jaws will be thy fate.
Agreed.
Listen as though it meant thy life then, human, for it surely does. My first is foremost legally. My second circles outwardly. My third leads all in victory. My fourth twice ends a nominee. My whole is this gate's only key.
My first is foremost legally. My second circles outwardly. My third leads all in victory. My fourth twice ends a nominee. My whole is this gate's only key.
Do you remember the riddle book we got from the bookworm? I think this was the riddle on the missing page, which means that the answer is love.
The answer is love.
Ah, thou traitor of the mortal plane! How didst thou guess love? That riddle should never have been solved. Love is unknown in this realm.
Love cannot be banished, even from this place. There are spirits still pining of it on the surface above. Still less can it be banished from my heart.
Enough! Burden me not with thy poetry. Pass through, and quickly, before I change my mind.
And it is the Lord of the Underworld.
The servants of the Lord of the Dead stand silently at the head of the path to his throne. Alexander is standing in the hall of the Lord of the Dead. It is here that the spirits of the newly dead complete their journey and meet death himself.
Well, let's go and have a word with Mr. Death.
Excuse me, I'd like an audience, please.
The shrouded guards escort Alexander to the throne of the Lord of the Dead.
Why have you entered my domain, still wearing your flesh? If you are so anxious for death, you might have found it easily enough in the land of the living. But since you are here, you are most welcome to stay. Kiss my hand, and you will be one with the spirits. There will be no pain.
I love this design. He's one of the coolest looking depictions of death I've seen.
The Lord of the Dead is a huge, grotesque figure. He and his throne are one, grown together over the centuries till he can no longer move. Chains further bind him, pinning him to his endless, weighty task. If he was once human, as the Druids claimed, Alexander can see no sign of it in his merciless, fathomless eyes.
I seek a boon, my lord.
Why should death grant you anything, mortal? The will to live is strong, is it not? Never mind. I will reach out to you.
The Lord of the Dead's touch fills Alexander instantly with a numbing cold and blackness.
Oh no. Well, that was a productive conversation. Let's use the gauntlet before he can grope Alexander again.
I did not come here to die, but to demand my right of challenge. I respectfully challenge thee, death, by throwing down this gauntlet. Man may pass the portal and seek its master, death. Man may pass where death has trod, and challenge like Scheherazade, he who reigns beneath the sod, to spare a mortal's breath.
He has the gauntlet!
Impossible!
He challenges death.
Who are you to challenge death?
A man of flesh is all I need to be, my lord.
And what is it that you seek with this challenge? The soul of some dead maiden?
I seek the souls of King Caliphim and Queen Ilaria of the land of the Green Isles.
You would save 2 human souls and emerge alive from this realm yourself? That shall be a difficult challenge indeed. The tomb does not open its doors lightly.
Either all 3 of us leave, or none go.
Very well. Then let me think of an appropriate task. Ah, yes. I have it now. Your challenge is this. For thousands of years I have sat upon this throne. I have heard every sad tale that can be told by human lips. I have seen tragedies that ended empires, injustices that defy reason, love that would light the very stars turn cold and hard. I have seen torments that cannot possibly be borne, and yet must be, for centuries. This thing I have never done. I have never shed a tear. Make me cry, thou man of flesh. That is my challenge.
Make death cry?
Sooner could he turn sea to stone, or fire to ice.
That is quite a challenge. But the mirror of truth we got from the beast will help us here.
Beast's mirror consists of a piece of glass set into a decorative frame. The glass is unusually clear, and the image particularly true.
Time to cry, Mr. Death.
If your existence has been all that you say it has, then truth alone shall be my sword.
The mirror's surface swirls with darkness for a moment, then fills with images even blacker. Reflections of despair, of wailing souls, of shackles colder and more immutable than any forged by man, of a world of thirsts that can never be quenched. Alexander feels the mirror tremble in his grasp, and is glad that he cannot see its face. But the Lord of the Dead is transfixed to the mirror, to the screening of his life. Things long forgotten are once more uncovered. His enslavement to this throne while still a man, the years of watching misery and horror and growing ever more numb to it, the seep of his own humanity, the slow growth of a new thing altogether which became that which he is now. His is an existence that has no possibility of redemption, no end. The surrounding spirits draw away in pain. The truth is so sharp it stabs, so intense it sears.
Take it away. Make it stop.
The mirror of truth cracks from the strain, and death sheds a single gray tear.
Truth is indeed a terrible thing. I have worn this mantle for so long, I had forgotten its dreadful weight. You shall take the souls and leave as I agreed. You have been granted to stay from this inevitable reality. I almost envy you. Find the souls he has claimed, and bring them to me.
That was an intense challenge.
King Caliphim and Queen Ilaria, I presume. Your hero has won you a few more years of mortality. May your souls be more prepared for their rest when you return.
Thank you, my lord. I hope that they will.
And you, man of flesh, my steed shall take the three of you back to the land of the living. Tell her where it is you wish to go. Until we meet again, then, I assure you, we will meet again.
No offense, my lord, but I hope that will be many long years from now.
It is never as long as you might wish, mortal. Now, Begone.
Yes, my lord. Are you coming, Majesty?
Alhazred's treachery must be handled carefully, Alexander. Alari and I must go gather our allies and form a plan. Watch over Cassima. Make sure she comes to no harm. We will return as soon as we can to take back all that has been stolen from us.
I will keep her safe until your return.
Thank you, son. Your love for our daughter must be deep indeed for you to have undertaken death itself for our sakes.
Indeed. May we succeed in what awaits us, and live long together as a family.
We've rescued the king and queen. Next we go and free Cassim and take back the throne from the evil Vizir Dude. Thank you for watching my video, human. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and consider subscribing to my channel. I hope to see you in the next video.